So here we go, the second half at the SCG. Collingwood hoping to come back after Sydney did in the second quarter. Williams gets a short kick almost down towards the 50, and Scotty Russell, he's locked up there, picked up by Patterson. He kicks it long to full forward. Marked on the last line by Scotty Doreen. Plays on quickly to Shannon Grant. Goes with a left foot towards Stafford, who took some excellent marks in the first half. Big man did it well. Now he pokes it up towards Lewis. In fact, over his head it goes. First goal going to be very, very important. Lewis locks up Russell. No one's going anywhere. And Greg Scroot, the 30-year-old from Western Australia, decides that he'll come in.
So, Sandy, neither coach has done anything dramatic at half-time. They would have really worked upon their players to try and get them up. But as we see, the two Rocket boys still on the bench for Collingwood. Watson doing the forward line work with Richard Osman. 3-point margins, back to an even playing field, isn't it? Brown gets the hand pass away. Don't often see Buckley fumble. Bays, floating hand pass goes back towards half forward, taken by Gavin Brown. He tumbled a punt high from one end of the square to the other. Armat was lurking, but he couldn't take it cleanly. Now Williams, a handball to himself. Did he throw it? It looked like it. So the advantage is paid to Dudley. A long kick to half forward, and Stephen Carey takes the mark. He's just been too agile. His reading of the ball and flight's been very good. Pushed out there into the half forward flank. Dunkley does the right thing. I mean, he's not the greatest kick, Andrew, but he's really improved. But gives the ball sufficient air for Stephen Carey just to be able to judge his approach onto the ball. Kicked one goal. That came in the second quarter, but was an integral part of Sydney's resurgence. This to stretch their lead to 9 points and really have this ground rocking. Sixth goal to Sydney. And a long time since Collingwood have got one, and the momentum hasn't shifted during the half-time break. Tony Shaw really looking now for something out of the midfield. They didn't have the ascendancy in the second quarter out of the centre bounce breaks that they did enjoy in the first quarter. Sydney were able to take that and may now continue on in this third half with that strength.
6-8-5-5, so the Swans stretch their lead just a little, but it's going to be a match of degrees, and a couple of goals will be handy. O'Loughlin to Kelly. They're winning the centres now. Kelly long to half forward. Bayes caught underneath it. Lockett there. Cook there. Numbers getting around the ball for Collingwood. Sydney hold it up.
Bruce, I think I'm nearly ready to make a big move for Collingwood. I'd like to take Mark Richardson down to full forward. He has got a bag of 7 against Sydney, because they're a long time since they've got one. And I'd even take Gavin Brown forward and perhaps put the pressure on Anthony Rocker to go back and play on Tony Lockett.
28 minutes into the first quarter, Collingwood's last goal. Chapman round the bodies, had some important kicks in this game. To fall forward, Kelly was in the front spot. Well done by Curran at the back. Forcing forward Dyson. Cook with him, Crow, back to Dyson, clever kick, gave Lockett half a chance, but he did keep it in play. Crow did well. He's come in for Francis tonight and pushes it away to Buckley. He's going to have a space here to run. Bayes to try and go with him. Buckley away, just chips. Good kick, finds Watson at centre wing. Collingwood needing to get something working here. Watson delivers to centre half forward, but numbers for Sydney, 3 in a line, and Roos has fielded.
They're just too short in stature now. Once Watson pushes up and takes one on the wing, Richard Osman's back in the square, and in between them is only a wealth of 6-footers.
Sydney having a brick wall across that half-back line. Buckley looks in towards the middle. Monkhorst is his target, but he's surrounded by red and white. Stafford will give it away to Carey. The two big men combined. Will it be 3 big men? Over the top. Chapman charging towards goal. Sucker up the ground. And he does.
Terry, what a good move that that's been O'Brien with Chapman. Chapman filling O'Brien's spot at the feet of Lockett.
Without doubt. He's just given that little bit of pace and leg speed in there. The half-back line of Sydney really has got control here in the opening part of this third quarter. They're too tall for their Collingwood counterparts. Watson and Osborne being the two talls there, but for the Collingwood forward line, Sydney have got the numbers and being able to rebound so well.
They kicked away the Swans after Collingwood had that huge lead early. 7-8 to 5-5. Kelly out of the centre. Good tackle. Got his hand. Free kick, is it? Advantage given, maybe. Quick kick again by Sydney. Just looking at the umpire, Johnny certainly signals something. Here's Williams, but at half-back, Williams goes in short. Gets to Buckley between half-back and centre wing. Still getting plenty of the football, Buckley, but he was up forward early, remember, and damaging. But now getting a lot of his kicks across half-back, where we've become accustomed to him getting the ball. Good kick and a terrific grab by Osborne. Lewis says it was his first, but Osborne ripped it away. And he is within kicking distance. They've kicked the ball a long way to the left of screen tonight. Got a couple of goals in the opening term. Collingwood hasn't kicked one since the first quarter. Good shot at the angle there. And Osborne gives it all. He's got great looking kick. He's kicked his third. 3 to Osborne against the flow. That tightens it up again for Collingwood.
Yes, and surprisingly, Osborne's been the goal kicker of the last two Collingwood goals, with the last one being such a long time ago. But yeah, he really is going to stand up as the senior player in this forward line. He's going to have to be able to play with some degree of confidence in his own ability, but be able to give confidence to those around him. You know, a lot of the younger players are really going to find it a bit of a struggle under this pressure just at the moment.
Collingwood coach Tony Shaw took his side to 11th in 1996, hoping for bigger and better things in 97. So too is Kelly as he rips it out of the middle, but gets caught. Patterson gets taken out of it. Crow gets caught. Fantastic work there by young Cook. Williams. Cook again. Dyson. Great smother. This is excellent football by both sides in the opening minutes of this all-important third quarter. Maxfield takes the hand pass, then goes onto the left foot, in towards half forward. Stafford taken out of it. Buckley is there. O'Loughlin floating. Bays caught, ripped away from the football. Collingwood should clear. Scotty Burns hand pass to Patterson's okay. O'Loughlin's down behind. Here's Burns in towards full forward. Can Aussie get another one? Can Ahmad do something? What about Anthony Rocker? They're all there, but so too is Andrew Dunkley, and he defends to the outer side. Dale Lewis should keep it in play. What's he got downfield? That's the big question. Not a lot, so he heads for the open space. He gains probably 50 metres, and Mark Bays is 20 metres away watching it roll over the line. Michael O'Loughlin is up and appears to be okay. So a throw in on the outer side. Packed house here at the SCG if you've been out and just arrived home. Krasiska doing the ruck work. Patterson ripped off the ball. After Sydney made a slow start, Collingwood, on the other hand, made such an exciting start. Sydney have pegged them back. McDonald gets caught. It's tough down there for that Collingwood defence now. Dyson overruns it. Graham Wright slams into him. Robbie,
great play.
Work by Kelly. Patterson will try and undo it. He's almost pinned Scotty Doreen. Bays is coming off, incidentally, as I speak. And O'Brien is going to come back on down into that forward line.
Yeah, Bays ran into trouble earlier there at centre half back when he came back surprisingly on his right foot and ran into traffic, when if he had gone on his natural flow onto his left, there was any amount of space out there for him to work in. Important
ball by Burns to win there because O'Loughlin was sweating on it. Watson, good give. Curran keeps his feet. Going to ground was Grant. Curran's high ball to full forward. Osborne and Dunkley off the ground by Wild. A goal. Collingwood's back. He got one from nowhere, did Wild. His first, and Collingwood with the last couple of goals. We're back to a three-point game.
Well, the Collingwood boys are really scrounging stuff out here. The momentum in the context of the game still seems to be with Sydney, but now Collingwood have got two that are against the flow. And they're doing some really hard stuff at the particular ball and the contest. They've been prepared to get in hard. Osborne gave the contest there, Wild at the foot.
What a game. 3 points the margin. The Magpies hitting back hard. Dyson out of the middle though for Sydney. Down towards O'Brien. He's just come back onto the ground. Chapman, claim, back to O'Brien's. Hand pass is going to drop a little short to McDonald. He goes long. Up towards left half forward. Roos will be quite content to paddle that towards the line.
Bit of experience there, isn't there?
Oh, listen to that little laugh coming from the little back pocket player. He loves to play like that, doesn't he, eh?
There are ways to do it and there are ways to do it, aren't there?
Defend at all costs. O'Brien's stint on the ground has been short-lived. Stevens has come on. Kelly. Ooh, bounces it just inside the line. Another throw in on centre wing. Dipper.
Sydney Swans fans just love this game, this tight game. They're riding every bump and every kick, and they've got some of their favourites. It's a great atmosphere down here.
Yeah, full house. There's nothing like it. Dipper is there.
Nothing like it, Sandy.
Free kick to Monkhorst held in the ruck contest.
The big monkey on centre wing.
This will be his 16th disposal for the evening. Good piece of work.
Goes to the lead of Watson. Couldn't take it. Lewis will try and force it towards the line, but at the bottom of that is Jason Wilde, the man who just kicked that excellent goal. Monkhorst in the meantime comes off, as he usually does at about this time, and Francis goes back on.
Gee, I don't know about if they do that at a set time. It's a strange one, isn't it? You know, but more often than not, you do see the change made halfway through the quarter.
Yep. Matthew Francis just coming on for the second half. Kelly, a bit of soccer work there. Careful. Scotty Burns. Puts the Pies inside 50. A mass of players there to affect the spoil. Shannon Grant tries to wrestle it away with strength. Cook's going well. He gets boot to ball and pokes it wide, some 30 metres towards centre wing. Graham Wright applies excellent pressure. He does really well, Graham Wright. Now Watson close to the line and eventually Cook over. Just get the feeling that the next 5 or 6 minutes could determine the outcome of this game. If one side can break, get a little bit of a run on. Just a couple of points in it. 3 points. It's a ripper.
Francis at the back. Burns smothered by Lewis. Good. Francis works towards the line. The last 3 or 4 minutes has been that typical arm wrestling situation, hasn't it? We almost feel we're going to settle down now for a real slog home. It's going to be so tight. Every goal is going to count for something here.
And just when you look around the ground now, Bruce, it's all one-on-one matchups. So everyone's playing it tight and hard against their direct opponent.
Free kick paid by Stewie Wynn as the non-controlling umpire in that ruck contest. Brian Sheen calling play on. Stewie Wynn paying the free kick from the adjacent zone.
What a good game Carey's played tonight as a forward and a ruckman. And to have Stafford and Carey has been the big bonus for Sydney tonight. Russell belted it away from Creswell. There's Creswell, one of the hard nuts in the Sydney team. Buckley and Creswell together. Matthew Francis, who should be pretty fresh. Stephen Carey pushing down. Dyson pushing towards the line. So not much game by either team in the last 5 or 6 minutes. They've been playing basically in front of us here, between about a 40 or 50 metre arc. Which team can work a break here and set up an opportunity to goal? Creswell's handball, good play. Dyson to cut it, but then couldn't quite hold the balance. Williams is there, and again the tackling's ferocious and quick, and nobody able to get a clean shot at the ball.
Bruce, how would Big Monkey look standing in the goal square, perhaps? Rather than sitting on the bench and having a rest, you know, he could be quite an awesome target down there for them, which they so sadly need at the moment.
It's ironical you say that, considering the 2 Rockers came into the game as 2 of the trumps.
Yep.
The Sydney chant echoes around the ground. Williams sends Collingwood forward, down towards Watson. Hand pass across towards Curran. He's in the left forward pocket. They need something here from Watson. Maybe he can do it. Watson shoots towards goal. What a ripper! Shane Watson Watson in his 97th game gets his first goal for the night, and it couldn't have come at a better time, wresting the lead again over Sydney.
Well done to Shane Watson, but more so here to Anthony Rocker. He has spent a considerable amount of the time of the game on the bench, and he gets involved here. The current kick comes up, still quite prepared to attack the ball hard. Good gather, feeds it off, then does a team thing, throws his arms out with a shepherd. Good work, Anthony.
The Watson goal gives Collingwood the lead by 3 points. As we go back to the centre, it's Williams who tries to get it out of the middle, and he does to Buckley. Nathan Buckley, long, direct, magnificent kick. Osborne at the back, should goal! Sockers it off the ground, but it's just a fraction too far right and one behind.
The fourth goal was sitting there for the taking, wasn't it? This has been a very good game from Richard Osborne. He's been asked to do a lot in the forward line, and certainly hasn't let Tony Shaw down.
Just been a good game, full stop, hasn't it? The way that's fluctuated. Stephen Carey putting his hand up tonight. He's on half back. No one on the mark. He sneaks clear of Richard Osborne, then pokes it short. Clean balls, Michael O'Loughlin, but Cook will give him good support. Goes on to the left footer, Rainmaker. It's high, but they're inside 50. Francis unable to take the mark. Look at Kelly on all fours. Gives the hand pass away to Stafford. The big man's in all sorts of trouble. They'll lose the football to Brown. Then Williams. He's caught, but in the meantime, there's a whistle, and it'll go back.
The free kick was paid for too long against Stafford. Advantage was called. It ended up no advantage to Collingwood, so Stewie Wins brought it back and paid the original free kick.
Krasiska with it. So good call there. Krasiska to half-back, Curran, Grant. So a chance for Sydney when begging a moment ago. It has been a strange old game, hasn't it? As Stafford's coming off, he's going to pay the penalty maybe for that non-reflex give. Collingwood kicked the first 4 goals. Sydney kicked 7 of the next 8, and Collingwood have kicked the last 3. Orchard slips as he kicks. Lockett works to the front. Can't quite get a handle on it. Creswell, clever, cross the front. O'Loughlin, you'll back him. Left foot, measures it and misses it. Well, he shouldn't have. It was a good move by Sydney. The right move. Creswell across the face. And you look back at those misses of Sydney now in the second quarter when they were pop-shotting a goal and could have pinched 3 or 4. And they're 7-9 to 8-6. This is a terrific game of footy.
Under 8 minutes remaining in this third term. Francis got a hand to it, but that was all. Orchard gives the hand pass away to Creswell. He looks down in the forward line. Lockett can't quite get there. O'Loughlin at the back. This time, yes!
Well, wouldn't he love just playing around there? All the attention in this particular contest, the ball falls short, is taken by Lockett. Everyone goes to him, and O'Loughlin ends up being the free one here. There's been some good discipline work from the Swans. Here's Creswell again, doing the right thing. He did it a moment earlier to give O'Loughlin a chance. Coming to the top of the square, O'Loughlin finishes this one off better than he did the first attempt.
Sydney back in front. O'Brien comes on for Stevens. 8-9 to 8-6. Francis in the centre with Carey, who's been quite outstanding. Dyson getting some touches. O'Loughlin works Burns and takes a beauty. 2 form players. Now O'Loughlin will kick from 52. Give him a chance. Lockett goes now. O'Loughlin goes to him and kicks it beautifully. Weighted it perfectly. It was a good late lead, wasn't it?
Everything was perfect. It was a good late change by O'Loughlin as well. He really read it well. A great call, Bruce. You've got both of them perfectly pictured there. Watch him here. There's that momentary change and just pulls back on the kick, doesn't follow through hard, and well weighted into the Lockett lead.
Kicked 2-1 Lockett so far. This is his first shot for goal for a while. He kicked 1 in the opening term, 1 in the second quarter. Got that all-important first goal of the second quarter. In fact, he kicked Sydney's first 2 goals for the match, and they're now up to 8. And let's see if he can stretch their lead out to a goal and a half. Kicks from 35 metres. They like it. He likes it. He's got his third. He's kicked 1 in each of the quarters, Lockett. It's a good contribution. That equals his best effort this year. And it's 9-9 to 8-6.
Michael O'Loughlin really is now giving the Swans something. I was I wasn't real happy with his first quarter. I didn't think he really seemed in it and hard at it. But at that particular stage, all the Swans were out of it. Then he started to work back in it, and now that's his 16th disposal. 5 marks. The marks have been creative across half forward and has really set some stuff up.
Ball a little late to come back. Got a moment to go down to Dipper.
Sandy, just a tight and very fast game. John Stevens came off the ground. He's suffering from cramp. These players are just playing extraordinary football down here.
So back in the middle. Carey to Kelly. Sydney go charging to half forward. Good body work then by McDonald, though, to take out Chapman. And suddenly the flow has been stopped. Flat-looking punt goes back towards centre wing. They're waiting down, though, the Sydney boys, ready to pounce at all costs. They're just running in a line. Roos on the end of the chain of hand passes, puts it out in towards Lockett territory again. A fraction too far. Here's the danger man, O'Loughlin. Here's another goal. They're running hot.
Well, they are hot, undoubtedly. 2 goals to O'Loughlin. The concern here for Collingwood is the amount of space between the attempted spoil by Nathan Buckley and his body. He's just too far from the contest. See, watch it. Reaches there where he really didn't get in and hit the contest with a real hard body piece of work to take it all out.
Interesting too, O'Loughlin's taken both Burns and Buckley in the last couple of minutes to the cleaners. 2 of the very best players at Collingwood this year, and 2 of the best players, particularly I guess Buckley, in the comp. So O'Loughlin on fire as Sydney continue to go forward. Going to ground Patterson. Little give by Bays was good. Kelly unloads and kicks another one. Is that a captain's goal? This is an onslaught suddenly. 11 to 8. Collingwood must respond now. The top of the table, the Magpies.
Well, they've had that one burst back at Sydney in this quarter where they kicked 3 consecutive goals, but then Sydney been able to wrest it back again. Their centre bounce work has been very good, Sydney. They're seemingly just that half a step in front of the Collingwood players, and Kelly just on the burst there, out of the centre, following up. Tremendous work.
75 plays 54. Monkhorst plucks it out of the middle. Can the big man fire up Collingwood to respond? Patterson tries to soccer off the ground, but it's stopped. Sydney at the moment irrepressible. Dale Lewis gives a nice little twist and gets the hand pass away. They go up towards Cook. It's belted clear of him. Back towards Lewis again, who's down towards centre wing. Bays is there with him. Gives good support. Goes onto the left foot. In towards half forward. Lachlan is lurking, and here he comes. Super quick, super talented, towards Tony Lockett. He can't take it, and there's a free kick. It's gone against Tony Lockett for over the shoulder.
That's right, Sandy. Signal was that Lockett grabbed Richardson over the shoulder, and I must admit it certainly did look like that, so comfortable with the decision made. We see Lockett just trying to keep Richardson away from the contact. There's the arm over the shoulder, just slinging him out of the way. No problem.
He goes short to Scotty Russell. Got a shove as he took the kick up back towards the centre. Krasiska surged it through. Now here's an opportunity for Jason Wild. He kicked the goal earlier in the term. Collingwood desperately needs one, and he has picked one back for the Magpies. Second goal to Jason Wild, both in this term. It's their ninth. 9-6, plays 11-9.
Well, he's proving he could be an unlikely hero here, Jason Wild, across half-back. Half forward, more known as a half-back flanker. Kicked his only goal for the season a couple of weeks back against North Melbourne, and has now kicked 2 in this quarter. And he's doing it with some good run through there. But for mine, it's just a little bit of last man standing, one man alone there in the Collingwood forward line. Still lacking a little bit of structure and system.
So Stafford warming up there on the bike. Collingwood doing well to come back there through Wild. They're hanging in the Magpies. The one thing about them, you know, this year, they've kept on coming. They've kicked a lot of goals. Maxfield in front, went to ground. That could be dangerous. Well, Burns chopped off by Bays, who's starting to get a feel for it. McPherson goes and delivers to half forward to Carey. Good chop off by Collingwood. They needed a couple. Burns went to ground. The handball to Buckley. Buckley squeezes to the line. Good kick. That was good play, Collingwood. They were against the odds, and two good players in Burns and Buckley made something of it to get it out of play. A vital 4 minutes coming up here. Sydney 15 points in front, 2.5 goals. It's been a match of bursts, hasn't it? Sandy just about lost the lot a moment ago, but
40,000 fans jumping, the equipment's jumping, everything's jumping.
we've got it all back. Hope you're enjoying this match right around Australia on the 7 Network. We are here. It's been a great contest between a team who has a proud record now at home against one of the proudest clubs who currently are on top of the table.
Throw in on the outer side. This being a crucial 4 minutes now. Collingwood desperate for couple to set it up for the final term. Sydney could really set it up for themselves if they're good enough. Graham Wright starts off the handball chain. Watson gets a poor bounce initially. Will bounce it back towards Wright. He's on the outer flank here at the SCG. Looks down towards the 50, but it was a worm burner. And Shannon Grant was in the way. Done all right, the youngster. Grant's kick is also going to drop short. Could have almost been a free kick to Collingwood. No, says the umpire, and it will be locked up on centre wing. A bounce will take place.
I think it was, or should have been, a free kick to Collingwood, Sandy. I mean, his prime objective certainly wasn't to contest the ball or spoil it. It was just to run into the player set to take the mark.
Comments there from our fourth umpire, John Russo, as we have a bounce on centre wing.
And Sandy Severio rocking now back on the ground. Robbie Armat, the player to come off, so the height now starting to come back into the Collingwood forward line.
Moncourse down towards Patterson, but he was under real pressure. McDonald's at the bottom there for the Pies.
So the 4 players in the Collingwood forward line, the 2 rockers, Shane Watson and Richard Osborne.
Daniel McPherson wearing 13. Moncourse again, this time palming with the left hand, but Captain Kelly is there, leading from the front down towards Scotty Doreen. Bounces off the chest, going to be kept in play though. Should be cut across and cut off by Shannon Grant, who goes towards Cook, who marks on the outer wing. Now, can this young man set something up? Can move like greased lightning when he's going. Goes down towards the half-forward line. Seymour will float in front. Bayes is at the back. Osborne is there also. They've got it on the 50. It comes to O'Loughlin. He chips for Lockett. One grab. Can't take it. Maxfield. Well, he had the chance, the left footer going past, but not to be. And Crowe should tidy up for Collingwood.
And doesn't get it too far. Bayes hold of it. Normally a beautiful kick in this situation. Centering the ball. O'Brien, well done. Oh, beautifully played. He used the old bop, didn't he? And the hip, and got rid of Buckley.
A little bit too easily, but I'm sure that Nathan Buckley just didn't know that O'Brien was there. The ease at which he went out, that was very well done by Craig O'Brien.
Lovely kick by Bayes, wasn't it?
Yep.
I mean, he does have that beautiful, long kicking style. And O'Brien hasn't had a big part in this match, but this would be handy. 30 metres out, straight in front, he's got it. It's going to make it hard, isn't it? I mean, it's certainly a long way to go, a full quarter, but 3.5 goals and a low scorer, that was a body blow. Maybe they can get it back, Collingwood.
Yeah, well, Collingwood came in as being the most potent forward line in the competition, averaging nearly 120 points a game, and I would have thought that on this size ground they would have been able to duplicate that sort of a score, but they haven't been able to get it up forward at all. And now Sydney, their forward line, just starting now to show a little bit of shape and a little bit of form. O'Brien that time, but primarily through O'Loughlin.
Back in the middle with just a minute to go. Kelly out of the glue pot, although it's not too bad. Down towards the 50. The danger players across that line are Cook, and here he is now. He's one of them in O'Loughlin. He gives it to Dyson, giving away a little ground, just trying to set something up short to Creswell. Sydney fans wanting 50. It's not to be. And Creswell goes straight on with the job, charging towards Tony Lockett. Now watch out for those doing the lurking at the back. Buckley ripped off the football. Scotty Russell will get the hand pass away to Gavin Brown. This time Collingwood will get out of trouble. Osborne has got plenty of room on the outer side. Ball to ground once. Lewis gives chase. A couple of veterans firing at each other. Osborne goes down inside 50 and he only finds his old teammate in Paul Roos, who gives it away and comes to Darren Creswell.
At half-back, quickly onto the boot. Good play to Carey. If this can sit late in the quarter, Carey's about 70 metres from goal. Tumbling kick to full forward. O'Brien got a reasonable bounce. O'Loughlin's played a magnificent quarter. Back to Bays. Little gift to Grant. Left foot high. Lockett, one out. Almost siren time. Bouncing ball. Collingwood may be saved by the bell. They are. What drama late in the third quarter. 12 goals 9 to 9 goals 6. 7 goals to 4. And if I think of one man in that team, I will think of Michael O'Loughlin, because he was just brilliant in setting things up forward for Sydney.
Without doubt there. And but the other thing that's really swung Sydney's way has been the centre bounce. I'm trying to recall what I called in the first quarter, and I think it was something like that Collingwood had taken 5 out of the centre bounce to Sydney just 1, but now they're right back. Sydney have taken 14, Collingwood stagnant on 10.
So Magpie fans, can your side come back? Stay with us on 7 and we'll find out when we return. 21 points the margin. 81 plays 60. First goal, all important. Sydney out of the middle, down towards the half-forward line. Carey was the target, but it wasn't to be. Instead, it's Gavin Brown who defends to half-back flank. Paul Williams and Kevin Dyson. Williams first, and he chops away his opponent. Does a circle and swings it up towards Crowe, who'll push it down towards right half-forward. He's close to the line. He's pressured over the line by Dale Lewis. It was touched off the boot, and there'll be a throw-in.
The most significant move to date from Tony Shaw is Gavin Brown now has the job on the dangerous Michael O'Loughlin at half-back.
Sensational third quarter by O'Loughlin. He was the spark that ignited Sydney in that third term. The throw-in. Monkhorst and Stafford. Creswell through heavy traffic. Lewis loses it. Held it a fraction too long before giving it to Stewie Maxfield. Creswell again down towards Cook. He's got to beat a couple here. Williams receives a nice tap and then goes on with it. His kick up towards half forward after Scotty Burns did the good work. Watson takes the mark. Shane Watson is a long way from home. He's going to be kicking from 57 metres up towards full forward. Rocker has spent time on the bench, Big Sam. He gets through some heavy traffic here and he kicks it high and away to the left.
Well, I think it is appropriate that Tony Shaw goes back to perhaps his tried and true structure. He has got Severo Rocker there at full forward, Anthony out at half forward, and as in the third quarter, Shane Watson's the additional player in there.
Good effort by Kelly, some danger there and able to get it away. A high kick. Here's Brown against O'Loughlin. Cook, good hands he's got. Now Dyson measures it and kicks it long. O'Brien, Krasiska. O'Brien worked it cleverly, very cleverly. Beautiful handball. Maxfield normally kicks these. He's got it. Well done, the big goal. Wayne Campbell on Talking Footy told us that Stewie Maxfield, he says, the Premier of the State, Stuart Maxfield, when he was at Richmond, so often kicked important goals, and he's done it at Sydney as well. And whilst that's not the crunch, that's very handy.
Oh yeah, a good finish here, but some very good work here from Craig O'Brien in that he is able just to get Krasiska out of the contest, perhaps fairly, but just that bit there, just where he came back into it and just bought that little bit of time, little bit of space to be able to find Maxwell with the handball.
Susie Moroney there with the Premier. This will be a stroll in the park after what she's done. 87 plays 61. That's going to make it tough now for the Maggies as Williams goes high up towards the half-forward line. Patterson also floated over the pack, all to no avail. Lewis just soccers it along in front of him. Seymour had it for a moment and then lost it. Lewis is locked up. He's at the bottom of that pack. Over him was Chris Curran. And one of his teammates. Very talented sportsman though, is Dale Lewis. Be it football, tennis, golf, he's pretty well a master of the lot. Collingwood need to find something here. They're going to stay in this game. Shawville takes the hand pass. Real worries now. Brown floats a high kick. Stafford was there, but he couldn't take the mark. Past Osborne it goes. Oh, an attempted sock off the ground by Kelly was almost kicking in danger. As a push has been noticed, and it'll be taken by Osborne.
Clearly pushed in the back, Sandy.
Yep, wasn't too subtle that one, was it? Stafford on the mark. Osborne goes towards Monkhorst, who's on 50. Crow court, gets it away. Severio, Rocker's a long way from home. Curran is a bit of a goal sneak, likes to kick one. So does Jason Wild. He's kicked a couple in this game. But here's Ruse. Should get around Watson. Floated towards Creswell. Tucked in the back pocket. His hand pass just a little too far out in front of Dale Lewis. Could have caught him unawares. And so a throw in. Collingwood in attack and desperate for a goal.
Creswell's got Nathan Buckley's measure just in this opening part of this quarter. I think I've counted Creswell. There was something like 5 touches, and each time he always has Buckley well covered.
Stafford and Monkhorst. Dyson was there. So was Shannon Grant. Still with Dyson. Collingwood appealing for a free kick. And it's going to be a ball up. About 25 metres from Collingwood's goal. They trail 9-7 to 13-9. Top of the table, the Magpies going in with 6 wins. Sydney 3 wins, 2 of them at this ground, but unbeaten here this year. And have won 13 of their last 14 with a draw. So it's a great record. Ruse, long ball, Bays. Brought it back in, not sure if that was the right thing to do. Brown's handball. Osborne has had a good match. Takes a while to get around and then kicks it off one step and gets reasonable distance to half forward. They do need a couple of rocker goals, either Anthony or Sav. Dunkley got it away from Grant and then kicks back. Oh, Lachlan, gee, he's a good player. He kept his eyes only for the football. Well, Richard might say that it wasn't a free kick, but boy, he took his head off nearly. And O'Loughlin's earned every bit of that.
Yeah, what Richard Osborne would have been saying is, look, I was just trying to punch the footy or spoil the mark, but if that was the case, it certainly seemed a little bit crude.
Michael O'Loughlin towards the Sydney 50-metre line and pushed over. So a throw in on left half forward. Darren Creswell working hard. Packed house here. It's been a sellout for some time. There were scalpers at the front of the ground tonight, trying to make a few bob. Collingwood will be trying to too in the next 15 minutes or so, trying to kick goals. Shannon Grant, ambitious towards Maxfield. Back he goes to Grant. Tucked on the boundary line, but the left footer can bring it in nicely, in towards half forward. Oh, an opportunity for O'Brien. He waited. He shoots, but he misses to the left. Collingwood have got 15 minutes to turn this around. 13-10 plays 9-7.
And you just struggle to really find how they're actually going to do that. And now the question starts to hang over to Collingwood about their interstate travel, isn't it? I mean, this is their first game out of Melbourne this year. And during the last 2 seasons, they only won 1 out of, I think, 7 or 8 on the road. Haven't travelled too well, the Pies.
Well, they've had an excellent run early on. Sydney's has been tougher. Theirs will get a little easier in the second half of the draw. They've got something like 8 out of the last 11 at home, so this place could really be rocking by then. Carey gives it off to Lewis. He belts through the middle, goes onto the left foot. It wasn't a pretty kick. Anthony Rocker couldn't take it. Buckley gets through somehow towards Williams. He goes back in towards Graham Wright. And the Tasmanian goes towards the 50. Rocker the flyer, but he can't take the mark. Dunkley was there, Creswell is there, so too Ruse. They finish up combining. It's a high kick by the fullback, back into the middle, and Stafford takes the timely mark.
Going like winners, aren't they, at the moment? Sydney, Stafford's kick wide to Lewis. Now Ruse, well, Lewis went to ground, he's in trouble. Pushes forward cleverly to Ruse. Ruse can go little, one to Kelly, got him. They should go back and kick the goal because they've had a pretty easy build-up here. Curran's missed a couple of minutes ago through the centre. When he missed Crow was vital for Collingwood. And if Kelly kicks this, you would think it's almost out of reach. Lewis did well to recover, and then Ruse controlled it. It's no gimme, it's a tight pocket. 40 metres out. He's missed it. So behind, 13-11 to 9-7. It's a great goal in the third quarter, did the captain. The crowd is 41,243. That is fantastic. So they've had 40,000 for Carlton and 41 for Collingwood in their last 2 matches here.
Lewis over the top with a big fist, belts it down towards O'Brien. Now he's got a chance here to set something up. Pushes it wide towards Cook. Roos is there with him. Gives it off to Roos. Kelly's there too. But the veteran is going to have a shot. And in his 322nd game, he puts it out of bounds on the full. Just 10 behind the galloping hat-rack Harold Matten, who may stretch that or keep him at bay if he comes back into the Carlton lineup with the injury to Allen. We'll have to wait and see. Anthony Rocker, a big fly there. All to no avail. Roos again. What's the accuracy like this time? In towards O'Loughlin and Lockett. Gavin Brown there also. O'Brien is taken out of the contest in no uncertain fashion. Wright gets boot the ball. Doesn't travel very far. Look at this snap. Oh, close by Cook, but not close enough. One behind.
He shows a lot of talent around goal, does Troy Cook, and I guess that's why I was disappointed with Paul Roos earlier. He received the handball from Troy Cook and could quite easily have given it back to that young player, and Cook would have had a shot running in some 30-35 metres out, but Roos decided to go from outside 50. Probably missed the better opportunity to give the young bloke a go.
Lewis from the side pushes forward. They've actually had Collingwood on its knees in the last 2 minutes and haven't put them away. They just haven't delivered the absolute knockout punch, Sydney. And if Collingwood can counter-attack, who knows? Patterson, here's a chance. Wild. There's enormous space here. He kicked a couple of goals in the 3rd quarter. Goes wide. Wants Watson. Watson going to the pocket. Seymour with him. Watson can't do much with it. Rocker tries to push it back between his legs. Dunkley with him. Uses his body very efficiently. Well done. Now Roos after it. Coming at him, Crow. Important ball. Crow won it. 70-80 metres out in the pocket. Crow to full forward. Good kick. Rocker's got a chance. And the man in front's got it anyway. And that's Paul Williams.
Well, that saved Jason Wild then, because he had the burst through the centre earlier and he made a bad option going out towards the pocket. The ball rebounded away by Sydney, and now they've come back again with another change. Wade Chapman coming on into the forward pocket there at the other end of the ground as Williams lines up here.
Well, he's normally a great kick, Williams, particularly on the run. But you'd think 75 out of 100 he kicked these, maybe 80. Has to kick this to keep Collingwood in. As I said a moment ago, Sydney's had a chance to really put them away and they haven't done it. And Williams has kicked straight, so Collingwood still with a sniff. First goal for the match. 13-12, 10-7, plenty of time.
23 points. Yes, there is plenty of time. They need to be able to now start to take some real ascendancy out of the centre bounce here. They haven't had as much confidence in their ability to go into their forward line as they showed earlier, Collingwood. But there's nothing to say that can't be resurrected with some strong work in the centre bounce.
23 points, not insurmountable. Dyson out of the middle. Collingwood get the next one. They're right in it. Anthony Rocker drops the diving attempt. O'Brien tries to get a kick away. Brown working hard, so too is Kelly. He just jumped over the top, and in the end, Brian Sheehan decided he would come in and take the football. Scotty Crow puts himself up. Late inclusion into this lineup. Rocker and Carey doing the ruck work. Scott Russell runs into a brick wall, a red and white brick wall. Relatively quiet night for Russell. Just 8 kicks. Anthony Rocker again. Crow just goes towards the boundary line. They need goals. They need to be as direct as they can. Will Williams try and keep it in? Good work by Kevin Dyson, who's approaching a major milestone next week, all being well. He'll play his 100th game.
So Sydney at left half forward. Carey, Rocker with him. Had a disappointing night, Anthony Rocker, so's his brother Sad.
He's at centre half back now, Bruce.
Creswell to Maxfield. Maxfield well inside 50. Chapman's there with McDonald and over the line. So Collingwood defending here. They can't afford to give Sydney another goal. One more goal would put them beyond reach, and they know that defence. There's O'Loughlin, such a star in the second, but particularly in the third quarter. Carey and Anthony Rocker. Carey front spot, tries to lay it down. Brown there with O'Loughlin. Cook in the pocket. Reasonable kick, brings it right back. A chance, bouncing. It's a goal. A beauty.
Say goodnight to the folks.
And only Troy could do that. There's a Derek kick about him, isn't there?
It was sensational. And can I claim the move now? In the first quarter, I wanted it, and out he comes. And I reckon he's going to be a great talent. And the way in which he works the ball there, that's just an incredible goal. Favoured by the bounce, but the boy probably would have told us he put that spin on us.
If you wanted one to really sink you,
Yep, that's it.
now that makes it tough when Cook can boot them like that. Collingwood fans will be saying, my hat. It's going to be very hard now. Rocker, who's playing in defence, that's Anthony. It's the hand pass away to his captain, who steadies towards Schäuble. Marks on centre wing. Got a couple of options in the middle. Could go short to Monkhorst, or wider and longer to right. Picks the second. Scotty Russell, while this is happening, is limping off the ground. Right, looks down towards the forward line, through Patterson. Roos is there, Lewis is there, goes wide towards Seymour. He'll be quite happy to see that over. Dipper down on the boundary line.
Yes, yes, Andy. Scotty Russell's been talking to the doctors for the last 4 or 5 minutes on the ground. He has come off the ground. I think he's got a slight hamstring problem, so we'll keep an eye on that one. Not good news for him.
Throw in the left forward pocket. Monkhorst uses the body. Patterson gives a little ground. Kick in towards full forward, and Osborne is touched. It's a one behind only. But scoring has not been easy for Scotty Crowe and his teammates. 96 plays 68, and we've got under 8.5 minutes remaining.
Seen some good players, haven't we, this year for Collingwood on the bench tonight. The Rockers, Burns a moment ago, Russell obviously injured, but some of their real stars have been off the boil tonight. Stafford, front spot, good effort by Brown. Wild, had it ripped off. Orchard, little handball was good enough not to be pinged. Williams, good feel for it. Back to Wild, back to Watson. Training drill, but cut off. Orchard gave it to Kelly. And Cook, who's got beautiful hands, takes another mark at centre wing. He will be a cult figure if he's not already at this club. Bangs it about 50 metres. Carey's a good player. He could eventually be an absolute dominating force in the game.
They could have a few cult figures.
Well, this fellow, not much fuss about him, but very good player. Kicks the ball a mile towards Lockett. At the back, Chapman and also McDonald. A couple of 27s. McDonald straight to the line and out of play. And Collingwood is really struggling now to conjure up something. Their lowest score going into this match was 12-12, and they equalled that with 13-6 against Adelaide. And in pretty tough conditions tonight, they're at 10 goals, and you can't see them adding a whole lot to that right now.
Sydney chant goes up, and the Sydney boys playing down time now. Lee, big ask for Collingwood to come back now.
Yeah, it certainly is a big ask. I think what have we kicked? We've kicked 5 goals in the last 2 quarters, so to be down by 5 goals with about 15, 10, 12 minutes to go, it looks a pretty difficult task, but you never know.
What about travelling, Lee? Do the boys mind it?
No, we were actually talking about it during the week, and we sort of looked at the advantages that the Swans had over us by playing us at home, and you know, fair enough, they've got the crowd and we have to travel, but in today's game, you know, it's just to be a professional footballer, those things shouldn't really matter, and you know, it should just come down to the 21 who are out there.
Sure. Mark Orchard incidentally just popped through the 13th behind for Sydney, just stretching that lead. Maxfield cut across here, but just didn't quite have the height. Play on was the call. It obviously got a touch to it. Crowe may get the chance to go through the middle. Then again, Cook might have something else to say about that. He needs help. Williams will intercept. Maxfield charges at him. Collingwood persist. The hurried high kick is by Jason Wild to right half forward. Buckley is there under pressure, but he shows all his skills that he keeps it in play and delivers beautifully to Severio Rocker. An open goal beckons.
Oh, he's lacking confidence. He'd kick that goal if he had a ding at it.
But instead he goes across towards Big Monkey, and he is directly in front.
Yeah, just a sure sign of, you know, Severio really is struggling now in this game for confidence. Given any other occasion in the lead up this season, he would have just gone back and put that straight through.
Game number 163 for the big man. The Victoria Park plumber looks pretty good, and he has put through a goal for Collingwood. His first for the night, and the Pies 11th, but maybe too late. 14-13 plays 11-8.
Monkhorst really has worked hard. Basically, I'm down as probably the best player for Collingwood. He and Richard Osborne in the forward line. But really, it's just been the weight of numbers that have overtaken Big Monkhorst. Firstly, it was Carey giving him a hard time early, and then Stafford came in on top. So really, he's just buckled under the weight a little bit.
Maggie still plugging away. 14-13 to 11-8 with Monkhorst's goal. And he wins the tap in the centre. Kelly out of the centre. Handball into some space. Wild trying to get back. Orchard well done off the ground. Gains about 40 or 50 metres. Krasiska goes to ground under pressure. Pushes out. This is where Sydney have been pretty good. Chapman also goes to ground. Little give there by Wild. Pushing forward again, Krasiska. Taken off at Curran. Orchard well done to Kelly. Kelly to full forward. Carey getting involved. O'Loughlin beautifully done, and Cruz is in for another one. The icing on the cake. His third. Well, 15, 13, 11-8.
All I was going to do is sing the praises of the young man. That you must think there's some great talent out there. That was he taken about number 40, I think, back in the draft in '94, and so a lot of players were taken prior. But he's just oozing class here, and that's the classical half-forward flanker goal. Being at the foot of the contest, being there to read the spoil, and then being able to finish off ever so easily on the right foot.
Back in the middle, and it's Monkhorst who wins it. Straight down towards Lewis, who tries to charge through. His hand pass ricochets away. It's going to be okay. Grant's kick is also okay. Coming wide to left half forward, and Carey again. Back into the centre to the man who delivered it to him, Shannon Grant. Stafford lurking across half forward. Further downfield is Lockett. Then don't forget you've got Cook and O'Loughlin to really add some spice. Instead he just goes 10 or 12 metres towards Darren Creswell. They chip it down towards McPherson, who will go longer now onto the lead, in towards right forward pocket goes Tony Lockett. Seymour is there with him. Lockett is literally locked up in that pocket, can't take it. Seymour somehow gets out. That was magical, and that kick is wide. Number one behind only. Mark Bowes, who's been on and off the bench tonight. But Sydney getting some of their big guns back. And again, just starting to flex their muscles and say, well, maybe we were at 14th spot for a while, but look out, boys. We're on the way up.
So O'Brien about to come on for Stevens. And interestingly, Terry, I mean, Lockett's had a good contribution, but he hasn't been a dominator, has he? Just the 3 goals, so they take a lot out of this game.
Oh, you'd be very happy with that, and just being able to air up, you know, young boys like Cook getting in there amongst it, O'Loughlin. No, plenty of pluses here for Sydney.
Seymour chips away, getting easy now all of a sudden. And Bayes, who must be hungry for the footy, having played just 2 matches this season, had a wretched run really with injuries over the last couple. And normally a good kick. His goal in the second quarter was important. And Lachlan about 30 metres away, but only a half-hearted one. And Mark Bayes should goal here. Sydney 5 in front. Kicks from 40 metres, and he's hooked it. So a miss. So Bayes 1-2, but important. And when you look at the players back tonight, Lockett, O'Brien, Chapman, Bayes and Dyson, they looked a terrific improvement on paper, didn't they, from the team that went to Adelaide last week?
They certainly did. And to have Bayes and getting a fair bit of footy under his belt here tonight. Now out there getting a few touches, and that's one of the real pluses that Rodney can take out.
Well, it's a confidence booster too as they go to the Gabba next week to take on the Brisbane Lions in yet another huge game. And Collingwood will certainly be tested by Hawthorn at Waverley. So some big football coming away on 7 next week as Seymour is now going to have a shot. We've seen Brad have a couple of shots tonight that did suggest why he played in defence a lot of his football without being too harsh.
But this is the time when the back pockets and half-back flankers start to float down. When you so it's got the ascendancy.
You can sniff one.
Yeah, give me a shot here, boys. I'll snip you back during training during the week.
So Seymour kicking from 45. It's a drop puck floating towards goal.
Well done, son.
He's done it. Brad Seymour in game number 49. Well, he's got his first goal for the night. 16-15, and the Premier is more than happy with that.
I think, and Brian Bury there beside him, I think they both appreciate the ability of a young man to be able to get down there and have a ping at him. Seymour's been very, very good. He's the type of player that Sydney have been able to build a very good developing side around. Hard at the ball, in doing all the 1%ers, and here showing great pleasure in picking up a goal.
16 to 11. They're just getting a little bit of percentage back here, Sydney too, because they're stretching this lead as Bayes charges towards centre half forward. Lockett there tried to hold up Gavin Brown. Brown back to McDonald, back to Crow, back to Brown, back to McDonald. And McDonald wide Moncourse, but going to cut it off. Is it McPherson? Monkey did pretty well. Now McPherson. Sydney with players forward if they can get the handball out. Wild over the top to hold it up. Moncourse little give. Patterson goes to ground. Buckley's had a ton of kicks, but not such a big match tonight. About 60 metres from Collingwood's goal. Seymour's back there still in the action with Watson and Grant, who's been good, and Orchard. And another bowl up. So Lee Walker, who's done a great job for us on the boundary line. Just a brief comment, mate, to wrap it up from your point of view. A bit of disappointment, I guess.
Yeah, it certainly was, considering the way we started in the first quarter, and you know, just to sort of fall away, I suppose, and from the pressure that Sydney put on in the second and you know, third and the last quarter, I suppose. You know, it's pretty disappointing the way we've lost, but look, you know, we're looking forward to next week against Hawthorn, and you know, hopefully we'll have one there, and it's a long season, mate. So thanks a lot for having us anyway.
Yeah, good on you, Lee. We appreciate your comments throughout the night, and all the best to you. Continue on the men. So just a minute or so remaining, and listen to the applause for the captain leaving the ground. Paul Kelly once again has done a sterling job leading from the front. Dyson was off, but there's a free kick going to go the way of Paul Williams.
For holding the man in the marking contest again, Sandy.
111 plays 74.
I think all the crowd have got a copy of the Collingwood playbook now.
Yes, which is Collingwood throw. Goes short. And it's Roos who brings it away to Dyson. He's got a couple of players running with him. But the 99 gamer goes for the floating hand pass over the top to Grant. Another one to Bayes. Roos has run all the way down. And he's 60 metres out. Lockett's back in the square. O'Loughlin lurking. The Lockett lead is on. Comes in towards half forward. Little too far underneath. Doreen was there. Trying to get the hard pass out was Curran. Eventually it's Crow who kicks back towards the middle. Cook is there for Sydney. He's been dynamite. McPherson off to Darren Creswell. From smack bang in the middle of the SCG. He looks down towards the half-forward line. O'Brien inside 50. Krasiska on his hammer. Craig O'Brien slips at the crucial stage. Can Krasiska get away? He can. He sneaks clear and he pokes it over the top to Patterson. Patterson on the half-back flank. Ball to ground once, but that's probably the last act in this game as Williams kicks it clear. Sydney a big win.